by Bogdanovich, who finished with 29, but it was not enough as Jimmy Butler and the Heat hold off the Hawks 115-105. Joining us now to break it down, as he has all night, the coach, Avery Johnson. Coach, impressive performance here from Jimmy Butler and the Heat. They do what you got to do. They hold home court. They take the first two games. Your reaction coming out of this one is what? What did you learn about either of these two teams?
I learned that the Heat is the number one seed for all of the right reasons, Joe. You got to remember, the Atlanta Hawks had to play in, 2 games to make it get to the 8th seed. They're playing, obviously, without Clint Capella, their starting center. But the Heat looked like a number one seed. They look like a team that knows exactly what they're doing. They were the more consistent team all year long, especially on both ends of the floor. There was a time in the season this year where we didn't even think the Atlanta Hawks would make it to the play-in because of their poor defensive play. They got off the slow start, and they looked like that type of a team in these first 2 games. So the Heat, they're who we thought they are. They're a very well-coached team. They are led by Jimmy Butler, a guy that could, has first-team All-NBA type of talent. We know he's had some ups and downs, but the Heat are who we thought they would be. They protected their home court. They did exactly what they needed to do. They frustrated Trae Young, especially in these first 2 games. He didn't score much in game 1, and then he had 10 turnovers. How can a point guard have 10 turnovers in a playoff game? Unacceptable. So give the Heat credit, but also the Atlanta Hawks, they got to go back to the drawing board.
Yeah, a lot needs to change for the Hawks. We'll get to that in just a moment here, especially on that offensive end. As you put it, Coach, Miami's defense stifling here. We're going to be drawn to the numbers, the playoff career high by Butler in Game 2. But I found it interesting. Game 1, sort of a team effort. Duncan Robinson takes the headline. Jimmy had a nice night, but wasn't a stat stuffer the way he was here in Game 2. To be able to win games differently at this point in the season, does that tell you anything about this team, how ready the Heat are for life beyond just this series against Atlanta?
Yeah, you're right. All of my really good teams, especially teams that made it deep in the playoffs and especially, teams that have competed in the NBA Finals, you got to win differently. These games all take on a personality of their own. Lots of supporting cast, led, Duncan Robinson in Game 1. But I know in the back of Jimmy Butler's mind, hey, they're going to try to take away the supporting cast. They're going to try to force me to beat them. And Jimmy Butler decided to beat them with a playoff career high with those 45 points. And he did it from the free throw line. He was very efficient from the three-point line. But he played 39 minutes and didn't have a turnover. So that says a lot about the disrespect that he had for the Atlanta Hawks defense. And he put the Miami Heat on his shoulders tonight and led them to victory. And everybody that's partying in South Beach tonight, they're going to probably have on a Jimmy Butler jersey because he was that good.
Rightfully so. 45 points, as you said, Coach, no turnovers, 15 of 25 from the field, missed 1 free throw, a near-perfect night for Butler, who will try and take that sort of performance into Game 3, which is 2 days from now in Atlanta. That series shifting to the ATL, Coach, 2-0 Heat, them having claimed both of these games on their home court. Nate McMillan gave the Hawks the night off